And the deadline's December 15th. Call now. You'll save even more. Here's the number. It's 844-45-BIBLE. That's 844-45-BIBLE. 844-45-BIBLE.
Your home for Goodland High School athletics, the Denver Broncos, Tech Tiger basketball, and the Morning Blitz with Ross Volkmer and Connor Schuh. This is Goodland's Rocket 102.5, KKCI-FM, Goodland, an NWKS radio station.
Merry Christmas from the Farmers State Bank in Oakley. We invite you to stop into our lobby for coffee and cookies throughout the month of December as our small way of saying thank you to our loyal customers. We appreciate your business in 2025 and throughout our 118 years of community banking and look forward to serving you in the new year. Farmers State Bank of Oakley, member FDIC.
With NWKS Radio News, I'm Connor Schuh. There are a lot of events coming up this week in the area for the holiday season. This Tuesday from 5 to 7 Central Standard Time, you can hit Play 315's Soup for Santa event at Colby High School before the school's choir concert. You can also make a free will donation there. All proceeds will go to Play 315. On Wednesday, Livewell, Northwest Kansas is distributing concrete goods from 10 to 12 Central Time at the Thomas County Office Complex Food Bank area for families in need. Items include shampoos, soaps, toothpaste, and more necessities. Right after that, on Wednesday, the Brown Bags and Bibles event in Colby is going on from noon to 1 Central Time at the First Presbyterian Church in Colby. Pastor Wade Moss will be there for an Advent lunch conversation. On Thursday from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. Central Time, Farmers and Merchants Bank is hosting a holiday open house as well. With NWKS Radio News, I'm Connor Schuh.
The next couple of days, downsloping westerly winds will drive temperatures to well above average. Highs will be in the upper 50s today and the mid-60s tomorrow. Lows will be in the upper 20s and low 30s. Skies will be partly cloudy to mostly sunny. Breezy west-northwest winds at 10 to 20, gusts to 25 miles per hour today. And then tomorrow will be windy with gusts 35 to 40 miles per hour. Wednesday, a Clipper system will pass in the north. Temperatures will slightly cool, but still above normal. Highs in the upper 40s to low 50s with no precipitation expected. Thursday and Friday, a second Clipper system tracks to the north, bringing dramatic temperature swing, but it'll keep moisture away. Thursday, highs in the 50s, westerly winds increasing. Friday, winds turn to the north, highs dropping significantly into the 20s and 30s, and lows dipping into the teens and low 20s. The weekend and Monday will be seasonal and stable. Highs rebounding in the mid-40s to low 50s. This meteorologist Chris Schromick, the NWKS Radio Weather Center.
If you're shopping for a banking institution, visit with Equity Bank of Hoxie, Grinnell, and Quinter, Kansas. The Equity Bank is heavily invested in local business and activities contributing in many ways back to their community. Their employees are involved with many organizations and area events. Plus, a lot of experience comes with that staff. You'll find valuable local assistance when you bank at the Equity Bank of Hoxie, Grinnell, Quinter, and other locations in Western Kansas. The Equity Bank, member FDIC.
Looking for insurance that actually puts you first? At the insurance agency in downtown Goodland, we're independent, which means we work for you. Whether it's auto, home, crop, or business, we shop top carriers to get you the best coverage at the best price. No pushy sales, just honest advice from people who live right here in your community. Give us a call today at 785-899-5011 or stop by 1020 Main in Goodland, and let's get you covered. The insurance agency. Insurance the way it should be.
This holiday season, jolly old St. Nick and his helpful elves at Hoover Lumber Ace Hardware are stocked up and ready to make Christmas merry and bright. From festive decor and handy tools to gift cards and great stocking stuffers, they've got something for everyone. Go bigger with Traeger or Weber grills or even Blackstone griddles, Yeti coolers, or powerful Ego snowblowers that make winter easy. Make holiday shopping simple. Shop local at Hoover Lumber Ace Hardware in Goodland and Colby.
Fall is here, and so are big savings at Hurl Chevrolet GMC in Goodland, Kansas. Get a 2026 GMC Sierra 1500 Elevation up to $7,000 off with eligible GMC loyalty. Check out the 26 GMC Arcadia 1.9% APR for well-qualified buyers. On the Chevy side, the 2026 Equinox is 0% APR, and the 26 Colorado Trail Boss gets $500 customer cash or 3.9% APR for well-qualified buyers. Harvest the savings this fall at Hurl Chevrolet GMC in Goodland, Kansas. Online at hurlchev.com.
When you gotta go, but there's nowhere to go, who you gonna call? Topside Portables and Pumping, that's who. Weddings, job sites, farm parties, they've got clean, reliable porta potties that don't stink, literally. And if your septic tank smells worse than last year's chili cook-off, they'll pump it out fast. No mess, no fuss. Family owned, Heartland values, always ready. Call 785-728-8089. That's 728-8089. Topside portables and pumping. When duty calls, they answer.
Are pests making your home or business uncomfortable? Call Pestaway in Goodland, Kansas, serving all of Northwest Kansas. They provide top-notch pest control services to keep your space safe and pest-free. From ants to rodents, termites to spiders, our expert team is here to help with effective, safe, and affordable pest control solutions. Don't wait. Call Pestaway today at 785-728-7166 for fast, reliable service. Your home or business deserves the best protection.
Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4! It's time for the Morning Blitz with Ross Volkmer.
If you want to win in football, it all starts up front. Mass kicks ass.
And Connor Schuh.
He's a new guy.
The High Plains only local sports talk show. Broadcasting live on Goodland's Rocket 102.5 and video streaming on YouTube, Facebook, and X.
They're basically idiots.
Covering it all from the preps.
Up ahead to Blair Lennon. Lennon, the crossover, back to Cure. Hello, boom! A two-handed tomahawk flush.
To the pros.
Shotgun snap to Nix. Protection is good. Bold loads it up. He's got it. A receiver there. Franklin makes the catch in the end zone. Touchdown, Denver.
The Blitz is presented by Pearl Chevrolet GMC, Hoover Lumber Ace Hardware, and F&B Bank. Along with
Equity Bank of Hoxie, Quinter, and Grinnell, the Insurance Agency, Pestaway LLC, Topside Portables and Pumping, and the Farmer State Bank in Oakley.
Let's go to work.
In transition, up ahead to Williams. Williams picks up the basketball, double team, leaves it back to Mole. Right wing three. Oh, it's good. Braylon Mole, 2 for 2 from Tripletown.
Udunga, 17 feet for the bucket, dribbles in, turns, picks up the dribble, and finds Council with 8 to shoot. Here we go. Melvin, a lob, Flory, big-time jammer.
Traeger, 3-ball on the way, got it! Bang! Orango.
Kelsey comes in motion. They give it off. Kareem Hunt trying to keep his feet alive, driving near the goal line. Touchdown! Kansas City! Kareem Hunt with power and drive would not be denied.
Driving kick, Mims on a gallop from the 48. Marvin in trouble, steps out of a tackle, and here we go. Marvin's loose, points to a Raider down the sideline. 20, 15, 10, 5, touchdown!
Good Monday morning, everybody. We are back on the Morning Blitz on Goodland's Rocket 102.5 and WKSradio.net, the Hurl Chevrolet GMC video stream on Facebook, X, and YouTube. Appreciate you tuning in on this December the 8th. Hope you had a great weekend. Crisp pool, 33 degrees outside the KKCI studios here in Goodland, but going to be a warmer day today. Temperatures yesterday in kind of the mid-40s, up to around the mid to low 50s today here on this Monday, December the 8th. Like I said, hope everyone is doing well here on this morning. I didn't slip on my way into work, so it's already a better day than it was yesterday. I can't tell you how, not want to say traumatizing. That's not the right word there, but definitely wasn't a good start to the day there. Connor Schuh, how are we feeling today?
We're feeling good. Saw a lot of good basketball this weekend, which I'll talk about later. There's some other sports events that I could be feeling better about, but generally, we're good.
Good. Are you going to grow the mustache out? I feel like you could almost get the wax going and maybe Raleigh fingers it a little bit, you know?
I don't know if I'm going to get the Raleigh fingers on it. I think I'm going to keep it here. It's already pretty bushy. You can't really tell on the camera, but I'm trying to, I don't know, get the goatee going. It's just this area is weird, you know?
See, I just get rid of that. I just say heck with it. If it's going to be weird, we just get rid of it. It's not a big deal for me. That's what I do. But I know it's just on the camera. It's getting kind of bushy, you know. You should continue to just grow that out, and we'll just start to slowly, maybe we'll just get a little of a
twirl it a little bit.
What is it? The shy gesture. What are the cat? What do they call that?
Sylvester?
No, it's not Sylvester.
Cheshire.
Yeah, Cheshire cat. There we go. Something like that.
I can kind of twirl it.
See? Yeah, you kind of can a little bit. I'm telling you, he's getting in the camera looking at it right now for those who aren't radio. We're on radio.
We're not doing that.
Just keep going. Yeah, it'll be fine. Anyway, we got lots to get to on a Monday show, as we always do. We will talk with Nick Athen, talk some NFL football. The season is over for the Kansas City Chiefs. It's simple as that. It's done. Saw that last night on Sunday Night Football. The Broncos
Don't beat the living daylights out of the Raiders, at least on the scoreboard, but they pick up another win, get to their 11th win, tying for the best record in the AFC and NFL pretty much. And overall, great weekend for our listener, Michael. He's already chiming in. F&B Bank text line at 785-899-2222. Go Broncos, Rock Chalk, and Muck Fazoo, as he would say. So it was a great weekend for him. So yeah, we got lots to get to on the program. We'll get to weekend winners and losers coming up here in a little bit. And yeah, anything we miss, we'll try to catch up in the leftovers here today. It was a bad weekend for your boy in picks. I do know that. It was a bad weekend for me in picks. I say that for a fact. And it was a tough weekend for Connor Schuh. I texted him, was it Saturday night after a missed field goal by one of his favorite teams, alma mater, and it's Indiana that's Big Ten champs, which is hard. I can't honestly believe saying it. I really can't. I was visiting with our Goodland Athletic Director, Marty Lehman, on Friday night after the basketball game. He goes, "Who you got in the Big Ten championship game?" I said, "Oh, I got Ohio State." I mean, they're the more talented team. And now on paper, they are the more talented team. But apparently Kurt Signetti's got some sort of magical powers that possess his team to win some.
They learned they could spend money, and then it went crazy.
Is that what it is? Is that really what it all is? Is that the tone around more of the where you're from? Because that's kind of your area. Is that the tone that Indiana is all of a sudden spending money and that's why they're good?
To a degree, that's not the biggest thing. I mean, they've obviously brought in great players, and that's partially due to money, but it's like they have a good budget over there. I mean, obviously with basketball, they've got a lot of money coming in, and they're a decent brand. So now I think they were able to transfer it to the football side a little more with Signetti pushing that, and it's definitely helped.
I don't know whatever he's done. It's been amazing, though. You think about it, it's the greatest turnaround probably in college football. I mean, I think it probably even surpasses the great Bill Snyder and what he did at Kansas State.
I mean, Indiana was horrible.
K-State was horrific, too. I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, there were some years where, they went a decade only winning maybe 2 or 3 conference games. I mean, it was bad. Indiana wasn't that bad. They were bad, but they weren't that bad. But the turnaround, I think, from K-State and Bill Snyder it took a little bit longer than what Signetti has done in a 2-year span. Pretty much he's lost 2 games in 2 years. Is that right?
I think he lost 2 last year. He lost to Ohio State in the regular season, then to Notre Dame in the playoff.
He hasn't lost any this year, so he's lost 2 games.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
He's unbeaten this year.
I quickly forget they're undefeated because, whatever.
Well, anyway, let's get into it. Weekend winners and losers here on a Monday morning.
There are 2 kinds of people in this world.
There's winners and there's losers.
Which ones were which this past weekend?
I want winners.
Loser! You're a loser!
It's the weekend's winners and losers on the Morning Blitz.
Want to be a winner, be a winner.
All right, let's go winners here. What do we got kicking things off on a Monday?
I've got local basketball to start. Colby basketball as a whole. High school and college went undefeated this weekend. It was a great one. Girls, first off on Friday, beat Ulysses 40-27. And then the boys, it was a little bit closer, 49-47, but they pulled it out in the end, played some great defense on those last couple of possessions to win. And then Colby Trojan basketball, the woman won. Let's check the score because I remember the men's score was 75-70.
The women's score was 55-48.
Yep. So those 2 games convincing. The men's team, they were actually down for a little bit, but they really dialed it in and just kind of held on there in the second half after a 10-point halftime lead and looked really good against a pretty good team in the Jayhawk Conference, Cloud County. I think they're pretty solid this year from what I hear, but Colby was able to get it done, get their first conference win, at least for the boys, and Colby basketball just in a good spot after this weekend.
What was that come from behind win on Friday night like for the Colby high school boys?
It was pretty crazy. They were down by, I think it was as many as 13, if I remember correctly, in that second half, but they just started hitting shots and just got red hot in those last 5 or so minutes in the final quarter, and they just made it happen. I mean, it seemed like Ulysses just went ice cold, and Colby was able to hit shots. They were playing better defense because in the first half, if you saw that, I mean, they were getting good looks, but nothing was falling. It seemed like nothing was really working, and a lot of those guys, they haven't really played together yet. I mean, the only guy who was really playing varsity last year who's there is Jordan Jones.
then other than him, I mean, a lot of those guys, probably taking some time to actually gel on a court in a regular season game for the first time. But you could see it all kind of come together there at the end, and that got the win. Yeah.
How many points did Jordan Jones finish with last night? On Friday night, excuse me.
I think he had somewhere, I don't know exactly, I don't have the stats yet, but it was in the neighborhood of 15. I'm still learning how to keep stats by myself too. That was tough. I tried doing it for the first 5 minutes, and I could not keep up. I gotta find a better system.
Yeah, keeping stats on your own, always something fun you got to try and figure out how to do when you first start out in this business, particularly at the lower levels. Yeah, it was. I'd say it was a great weekend for Colby. Congratulations, Colby Community College men, getting that first win. They had an 8-game losing streak heading into that win over Cloud County, and so to get that win, 75-70 was big. I think DJ Kaysen had like 20 points.
He had 20, and then
in that last game.
Got to shout out Giannis. Giannis Asimakopoulos had 18, and I remember this vividly because I was doing PA, so I could hear everything from the coaches on either side because I'm like right in the middle of the scores table, and the coach Stanford kept asking Giannis to drive, and he was pulling from like 30 feet and hitting those threes. Like I remember there was one specifically. The guy was guarding him up in his face, and he pulled it. It was like 5 seconds left in the shot clock, and Stanford, suddenly he's like, no, and boom,
and he
got him. And the whole crowd just erupted, and the bench was going crazy. And he's like, shrugs. It was hilarious.
No, yes.
It was one of those. I mean, he was hot.
That's good. That was a good performance there. Yeah, a good weekend for Colby basketball. I want to piggyback and just give a quick shout out to one of my winners here, Goodland Cowboy basketball. The Cowgirls won convincingly on Friday night, 48-19 over Cimarron. I think that was expected. Didn't really know what to expect for Goodland Cowboy basketball. It's a completely new era. You've got pretty much 1.5. No offense to Jackson Miller. We're going to give you half there because he missed half the season with some injury stuff last year and didn't play all of it. You got 1.5 returners from last year and a brand new basketball coach and a guy who'd never been a varsity basketball coach in his tenure. Been assistant at some spots in junior high, but never done varsity stuff. And the Goodland Cowboys went out there, albeit against Cimarron, and this is no offense against Cimarron, but they've been one of the lower level teams in the GWAC these last few years. I think they've won a combined, they've won one conference game the last 2 years combined. But nonetheless, didn't know what to expect, especially with the whole new roster pretty much. But the Goodland Cowboys went out there and just absolutely smashed Cimarron on Friday night. It was an impressive showing. It was a 77-43 win for Goodland. They got 25 points from Braylon Mole, which was a career high, but I was expecting him to kind of blow his old record out of the water because I figured he would have to be the leading scorer going forward. But it was a surprise of sophomore Connor Cullett, who went out there, and Connor, who had never played in a varsity basketball game in significant minutes. He had played a couple of times in some garbage minutes, never had scored at a varsity game, nothing like that. Went out in his very first varsity basketball game and put up 25 points.
Oh, wow.
That was nuts. Couldn't believe it. Multiple guys set career highs because obviously they never played varsity basketball. So it was just an all-around unbelievable performance. Offensively, defensively, they led from the tip and they never looked back. It was a dominating performance from Goodland Cowboy basketball. Now, the competition is going to get much more tougher as the season progresses on. We'll see what that looks like. But for an opening game, that kind of dominance, other than the cap to Coach Dawson Raymer and his crew, that was a very, very impressive win on Friday night. I was very impressed with Goodland Cowboy basketball in there. 77 points, by the way, scored in the season opening win. That was just one shy of the season high from a year ago with that class of superstar seniors and things like that. So they're just 1 point behind. It was nuts. So, yeah, great performance from Goodland Cowboy basketball, a winner of the weekend. All right, weekend winners and losers. What's your next winner?
We've got Georgia football. They embarrassed Alabama on Saturday in the SEC championship, 28-7. I mean, that really wasn't a game at really any point. I think Bama might have scored the first touchdown, but other than that, it was just all dogs. And I mean, they dominated. I still don't understand how they kept Bama in the playoff after that 3 losses, and they just got thrashed. But Georgia, they got the job done and looked really good. And there's some are saying they're probably the most dangerous team going into the playoff right now, and I think that's a fair assessment to make after the way the Big Ten championship went. So, Georgia, look out.
I've got more thoughts on the college football playoff and stuff like that in losers. I'll save some thoughts for that. Shout out, though, to Georgia defense, though. -3 rushing yards for Alabama. I don't care who you are. When you hold a Power 5 team to -3 rushing yards, that's unbelievable. That defensive line play is elite for Georgia. That was impressive what they did. Which, by the way, overall, kind of championship weekend, It wasn't that great. There wasn't that many good games. It was really pretty blowout. A lot of blowouts, which is kind of sad. You'd like to have more competitive contests. ACC did have a good one, though. I mean, that was good. Went into overtime.
That was incredible.
I did pick that right. I did say Duke was going to win, and Duke did get it done.
He did, and JMU made the playoff. Let's go.
My gosh. So anyway, my final winner of the weekend, keeping it short because I want to save plenty of time for losers. I just got to give it to Nebraska athletics. I'm going to play the homer card here. Did you know Nebraska basketball, men and women, and volleyball, a combined 50-0, have not lost. 50-0. Volleyball goes on, takes care of business in the first round of the NCAA tournament. They take care of Long Island and K-State in straight sets. Basketball takes down Creighton in a whooping 71-50. You're right. I picked Creighton to win, but I feel good because Nebraska won.
Exactly.
Now has beaten the Blue Jays in back-to-back seasons for the first time since the mid-90s. By the way, that is the worst Creighton shooting team I've ever seen. It is the worst Creighton shooting. It was almost like reverse roles. Usually what I see out of Nebraska, jacking up threes and can't make them, that's what Creighton did yesterday. Couldn't make anything. Couldn't hit the bright side of a barn. There were shots going off the side of the backboard. I kid you not. It was unbelievable. And Nebraska took advantage of it, whooped them. Their best start, once again, 9-0. Could possibly, I don't hope they're not, but could possibly be ranked in the top 25 coming up this week, which would be ridiculous.
There's an argument.
Yeah, 9-0. But like I said, beating Creighton for the first time in back-to-back seasons since the mid-90s. Winner there, and the Nebraska women, of course, winning as well. Also, shout out real quickly, K-State women, upset of 13th ranked Ole Miss yesterday, who are now, K-State gets back to 500 at 5-5. So quick shout out to them as well, and some college basketball winners of the weekend. But yeah, Nebraska athletics, 50-0. Volleyball, men's and women's basketball. Wow, that's completely nuts.
It's very good. And I've got a final winner. I'll also keep it short because I have a lot to say for my losers, as you would imagine. The Dolphins are 6-7 out of nowhere. Very, very quietly. They just beat up on the Jets 34-10, and they've won 4 straight, including a couple of divisional wins. They're sneaking up there. They're not, I don't know if they're going to get a playoff spot, but they have crawled back into the conversation after people were talking about Mike McDaniel getting
so many
fired.
angry Dolphins fans like, why are we winning? We want McDaniel gone.
Yeah, but he's rallying the troops, and they're playing well enough. I don't know if, like you said, I don't know how happy Dolphins fans are, but you know what? They're playing well, so got to give props.
Real quickly, FB Bank text line. Brian chimes in wondering why Nebraska basketball isn't ranked, undefeated, the longest winning streak in the country. It's more of a prove it thing, Brian. They just have to continue to. Sometimes when you've been so bad for so long, you have to prove it at a consistent level in order to get ranked. That's why I would say Nebraska hasn't been ranked. Let's see. Kyle, Big 12 proven itself better than all other basketball conferences this year. Has the Big 12 proven it's the better basketball conference this year? Big 10 gets smacked by SEC and Big 12 teams. Yeah, this weekend was a bad weekend for the Big 10 basketball. It was a bad weekend. Oh, what Iowa State did to Purdue in Mackey was unbelievable. That doesn't happen.
That made me laugh.
That was weird.
That was an enjoyable check of the box score for me. I hate Purdue basketball.
It was just a bad weekend for the Big 10, if you ask me. Big 12 had a good weekend. That's all I can say, Kyle, on that. I don't know if they're any better or not. I still feel like they're probably on the same level, but we'll see. Arizona's going to be the number 1 ranked team in the country. We know that. They took care of business against Auburn, and they're going to be the number 1 ranked team here in the country.
Auburn stinks.
Yeah, I don't know if they're that good.
They're bad.
That coaching decision, I feel like, is going to be questionable for them coming up. All right, on to losers. Lots to get to in losers. I have a feeling. Where are you starting with losers this weekend on weekend winners and losers?
I will start regionally before I get to my local anger. And I will start with Kansas State basketball. Oh my God. Lost 4 straight and beat by 11 by Seton Hall, but it felt like 20. And I don't know if you saw this, but there was someone got a clip of Shaheen Holloway, the head coach for Seton Hall, on the bench when they were up by 13 in the second half, pointing back at K-State and telling his players, these MFs are soft. You guys can bury them. And then they proceeded to win by 11. So if that tells you where K-State basketball is, at least for the men's side, that's not good when the other coach is calling you soft and he backs it up immediately and beats you by double digits. You got to figure something out.
K-State is in a really bad spot. After a 5-0 start, they have lost 4 in a row, including that 78-67 loss on Saturday to Seton Hall. Kamari McGriff led them in scoring with 12 points and also 8 rebounds. But they shot just 37% from the field and made 15 of 35 free throws. These are not the recipes to winning basketball games. K-State, once again, I've said it before, I'll say it again. They got duped. It's not looking good. It's funny. They actually host Mississippi Valley State tonight. The Fighting Jerry Rices, if you want to call it that. But anyway, Mississippi Valley State tonight, 7 o'clock Central Time, 100 points to the ride. You know what's funny is I saw on social media someone placed a bet against Kansas State to not cover the 31.5.
It could happen. I mean, Mississippi Valley State over the past few years has been one of the worst teams in net, though. So I don't know.
It's hilarious because the guy put $1 million down against Kansas State. The funny is the max bid was $780. I saw it on social media. It was ridiculous. Nonetheless, yeah, K-State basketball, not a good weekend for them in any way, shape, or form. Once again, my losers. I'm going to start first and foremost with my losers being, and this is kind of an all-encompassing loser. It's just the college football bowl season is my biggest loser of the weekend. 7+ teams decided not to go to a bowl game this weekend that had an opportunity to do so. Whether they were 6-6 or had a losing record of 5-7, multiple 7+ decided that, no, we're not going to play in a bowl game. We'd rather just focus on the off season. 3 of those, or a couple of those teams, include 2 in this state, Kansas State and KU. Kansas State was 6-6, had a chance to go to a bowl game. They said, no thanks. KU 5-7, they had a chance to go to a bowl game because other teams passed that up. They said, no thanks. We're good with just focus on the next team. In total, I believe 5 Big 12 teams turned down an opportunity to play.
Jeez.
Which, by the way, that is a nice hefty $500,000 in a fine for not going to a bowl game and representing your conference. In a day and era where the budget is so tight, why are you doing this to yourselves? This makes 0 sense to me. Absolutely 0 sense. And it makes me mad that teams are like, well, we're not going to go to a bowl game because, we're in a coaching change or we got cut out of the playoff. Go to the bowl game. This is how it hurts your program in so many ways by not having anybody really in the building doing anything where it's, you lose the ability to improve your roster over the course of this next month. All the practices, all the time in the weight room is about building for the next year. By not accepting and going to a bowl game, you don't have to do that. Guys can go home. They can work on their school. They don't have to do anything. It's over. Don't have to do anything like that. It's bogus. Now, yeah, some teams are going to keep lifting, whatever, so on and so forth. But, you're not getting the practice that you want. You have to go out there. If you want to be better for next year, take the practices that you get during this December time and get better. That's what you need to do. College football bowl season, unfortunately, is losing so much luster. It lost a lot previously because guys are opting out and stuff like that. Now you have complete teams opting out. And it's becoming really, really dumb. I hope they jack up the fines even more. Hope every conference says, if you want to skip a bowl game, $2 million, pay us. Because guess what? Teams are going to go then because they don't want to give up that kind of money that's going to go towards their athletic budget that needs to be going towards the players and everything else now. So college football bowl season, humongous loser of the weekend, particularly KU and K-State. Get off your bums and go to a bowl game. Get better. Don't sit around and pout or whatever or can't wait till next year. Go do something. I thought it was pretty pathetic showing by a lot of teams not going to a college football bowl season this year.
All right, I've got 2 quick ones to hit before we hit this. I'll rant for a couple minutes here, but I do agree with you on the bowl game take. But the Buckeyes and the Browns are huge losers this week. The Ohio State, I'm less mad at because you beat Michigan and you're still the number 2 seed in the college football playoff. But this game was a repeat of the Michigan game last year against Indiana here. We tried to play into their strengths and win in the trenches when we do have a strength in the trenches, but we're much better when we play to the outside and try to hit all the very talented receivers that the Buckeyes possess. And they didn't do that consistently enough. Jeremiah Smith still had a good game, but also we suffered a missed kick from one Jaden Fielding who couldn't hit the broadside of a barn. He missed a 29-yard field goal to tie the game up. I don't know how you can do that. He did the same thing against Michigan last year, and Ohio State has a kicker from Ball State that transferred in that I don't think he missed a kick last year. We haven't even thought to trot him out yet. So that's bad. And then on the Browns side, they lose 31-29 to the Titans. And the Browns, known for their defense, have one of the best defenses in all of the NFL, decide to lay an egg against the Titans. And Cam Ward didn't have a great day. I mean, granted, he got a lot of drops from his receivers and was getting pressured constantly, but they ran for about 200 yards. Tony Pollard had 160 on his own, and he's had an awful year. And then we totally spoiled Shedur's breakout game, too. He threw for 360 and 3 touchdowns. He ran for 1 as well. And if you watch that game, he did just about everything he could to try and win that game, scoring drive after scoring drive. But we put ourselves in a bad situation because we went for 2 when we could have made it a 7-point game early in the fourth quarter, missed it, and then you have to go for 2 again because we scored the next drive. And then instead of giving the ball to your quarterback, who has been red hot all day, we went to the Wildcat formation with Quinshon Judkins. So he decides to run to the right side on a designed pass and then proceeds to chuck it to the left side, pressured, incomplete. Browns lose. One of the most gut-wrenching losses I've seen in a long time. Brett, I hope you're watching this because I'm sure you feel the same way. That was brutal, especially because Shedur played incredible. Those first 2 starts, he was okay, but this was a breakout. He had a great game.
Yeah, it was like I said, it was I don't have anything to back that up. Ohio State got just whooped in the trick. They got whooped. It just they should have won that game. They're a more talented team.
Yes.
It did not happen. But we got to get to a break. But I'm gonna lump in Notre Dame a loser of the weekend. Once again, they did not make in the college football playoff. They should have. Don't tell me they're not one of the top 10 best teams in the country. Once again, the SEC gets their way and gets Alabama in there after that pitiful showing in the SEC championship game, and that was wrong. Notre Dame got hosed, but Notre Dame put their tail between their legs, said we're not going to the bowl game because we're mad, and I don't like it. I don't like it at all. Man up, go whoop somebody's butt in a bowl game, and then prove, well, hey, look, we just whooped the living you know what out. I'm telling you, skipping bowls is not good. It is not good for your program.
It never helps.
It's not going to help. Don't care who you are. K-State, KU, telling you right now, this does not help your program. If you get a chance to go. Better your young players. Get them ready. They have a chance. You can play a lot of guys and not use up any eligibility now. You can play a freshman in an entire bowl game, start him, and then guess what? The following next season, he's still a freshman. It doesn't count towards your eligibility. It's ridiculously dumb. But yeah, Notre Dame are the loser of the weekend because they should have been in the college football playoff, and they didn't. They have the biggest gripe of anybody out of the CFP by a long ways. I know Texas and BYU and Vanderbilt. No, Notre Dame has the biggest gripe of anybody.
Yeah,
this whole ordeal for the college football playoff. Okay, we're going to get to a break. Nick Athen is waiting very patiently. We'll get to him next. You're listening to the Morning Blitz on a Monday.
From drive-through banking to mobile deposit, we make it easy to get things done on your schedule. Banking should fit your life, not the other way around. This is Jessica Von Lintel at F&B Bank. Banking made simple.
In a small town, your banker should know more than just your account number. They should know your name.
At FNB Bank, we believe in real conversations, friendly faces, and decisions made right here at home. I'm Paige Sneathen, Vice President at FNB Bank, and we're proud to serve your family like our own. Member FDIC.
Looking for insurance that actually puts you first? At the insurance agency in downtown Goodland, we're independent, which means we work for you. Whether it's auto, home, crop, or business, we shop top carriers to get you the best coverage at the best price. No pushy sales, just honest advice from people who live right here in your community. Give us a call today at 785-899-5011 or stop by 1020 Main in Goodland and let's get you covered. The Insurance Agency. Insurance the way it should be.
It's time for a check of the markets with the Anderson Trade Group on the Kansas Farm and Ranch Radio Network.
Good morning, Jared Law with the Andersons in Overland Park, Kansas, with your morning market update. It's Monday, December 8th. March corn is up 1 3/4 at 446.5. May is 1 1/4 at 453.5. July up a penny at 458 3/4. Diesel up 0.5 cent at 464 3/4. Soybeans on the Jan up 3/4 cent at 11.06. March up 3/4 at 11.16 3/4. May up 1 1/4, 11.26 1/4. KC wheat on the March up down 1 3/4 at 529.5. May down 1 1/4 at 541.5. July down 1 1/4 at 554. Chicago wheat on the March is up 2.5 at 538 1/4. Feeder cattle last week finished 339.05. Live cattle 227.15. Lean hogs 81.65. Crude oil futures down 75 cents a barrel at 59.33. Gold futures down 10.40 an ounce at 4,202.50. Silver down 8 cents at 58.34. U.S. dollar index, either side of unchanged at 98.96. Dow futures up 54 at 48,057. S&P futures are up 10 at 6,889. Need to move any cash, grain, or want to talk about risk management, you can reach out to myself, Jared Law, Tom Suter, or Tyler Goshen, 913-748-3000. If you're out in Colorado, you can reach out to John Hankey or John Stiles at 970-744-4484.
The Anderson Trade Group, proud market partners with Kansas Farm and Ranch Radio. Find out more at andersongrain.com. The risk of loss through trading futures and or options is substantial, and each investor or trader must consider whether this is a suitable investment. Past performance, whether actual or indicated, is not indicative of future results. The Anderson Trade Group has no guarantee that the advice given will result in profitable trades.
LivestockMarket.com offers all the tools you need for a successful production sale. The easy-to-use online platform makes it super easy to take bids from anywhere in the world. Buyers can place pre-bids and real-time bids, browse your sales catalog, and watch your sale broadcast live. LivestockMarket.com is also the ideal platform for private treaty sales and timed online-only auctions. There's no easier way to find buyers for cattle, horses, sheep, and hay. Sell on your terms today with LivestockMarket.com.
Kansas Corn reminds you that E15 fuel is the right choice for every kind of driver. For the car enthusiast, E15 has higher octane. For the thrifty driver, E15 is priced lower than regular unleaded. For the nature lover, E15 provides cleaner air. For the shopper who buys local, E15 has more ethanol from our Kansas corn farms. Choose E15 for a higher octane, lower price, and cleaner American fuel. This message from the Kansas Corn Commission. Learn more at kscorn.com.
Miss the weekend action?
Yes, you caught me.
No worries. We've got all the highlights and lowlights covered.
Hey, okay, well, catch me up.
This is the Morning Blitz with Russ Volkmer.
So many things going on here over the next couple of weeks with the holiday season. So make sure you go to nwksradio.net to the area events calendar and see a full rundown of everything that is going on this holiday season. Let's welcome into the show our good friend from Chiefs Blitz, Nick Catherine, who joins us now. Good morning, Nick. How are we feeling today?
Good morning, gentlemen. Hey, the baseball winter meetings start today. So
yeah, are you shifted over to baseball? Have you already?
Yes, I'm on to the 2026 NFL draft. The baseball trade window, and my Kansas Jayhawks basketball team. That's my focus going forward.
Yeah, how about those Jayhawks with the win over Mizzou? I mean, that was convincing. But you know, Darren Peterson was back. I mean, that's the difference.
Yeah, I mean, if Darren plays, they got a chance to win, virtually every game. And I applaud Self for like limiting his minutes and They had a nice run. They had a nice game. It was good to go out there and blow out your rival, especially after last year when they gave up a big lead. And I love the fact that KU and MU are playing. They should play basketball and football every single year. I think it's a must. They got to figure out how to do it. I know football's a lot more complicated. They have to buy out some games and some contracts, but totally worth it to have KU and MU play again as they should. And who knows, maybe they'll be in the same conference someday.
Yeah, who knows? Could be. What are your thoughts on Kansas football skipping out on a bowl? They had an opportunity to go. Where do you stand on this?
I think the problem was, you're in the transfer portal. You got guys. I mean, they lost a big
The portal doesn't open till January 2nd. The portal is not open, Nick.
I think that you've got a coaching staff that is in flux. They're going to announce some changes here pretty soon, I believe. I did tell you there'd be a Big 12 coach that would no longer be coaching a few weeks ago. I was corrected, Kansas State. But I think for Lance Leipold, the $500,000 cost is nothing compared to the cost to travel. The payout isn't all that great in that game. And I think they have so much rebuilding and so much inner workings that are in process that I think it would have complicated things. It would have pushed further. And if there are some coaches out there that they really want to try to hire, get a jump on it now and don't play in a bowl game. I get why they did it. I personally, if you're not at least a 500 team, you don't deserve to go to a bowl game, period. I got to draw the line somewhere.
I can get behind that. I can get behind that observation. But the thing that I don't know, I struggle with all these teams turning away bowl opportunities because there's chances for your younger roster to get better.
Yep.
But and not have it counting at your eligibility as well either for guys that are redshirt freshmen and things like that or whatever. They have a chance to get into a game and play and not count. But a lot of teams don't see it that way.
No, they don't. And it's sad. Notre Dame, I agree with your take earlier. They definitely should have played. There's no excuse.
Oh, there's no doubt.
But Alabama's in there. That's, like you said, that's just absolutely insane. That's all about money. It's still a flawed playoff system. It's going to remain a flawed playoff system until they fix it, and I'm not sure how they can.
Well, I heard rumors this morning in the Dan Patrick Show is 16 teams will be happening next year now.
Yeah, that makes it a little bit more plausible, and you don't give a team a bye week, you make them earn it. I think the NFL should do the same thing. I think it should be 8, no bye week, just get 3 playoff wins to get into the Super Bowl. That's coming when they move to an 18-game schedule.
Nick Athen, our guest from ChiefsBlitz.com. I don't want to spend a lot of time on the Chiefs because the season is over.
Pretty much.
Is it just amazing? It was amazing to watch that game last night and to see Mahomes trying desperately to make plays, running, throwing, and nobody reciprocating on the receiving end. No receivers making plays when they had to. It was nuts to see. I feel like everyone has given up on this season in Kansas City except for maybe Patrick Mahomes. That's what it felt like to me watching that game last night.
I think there's 2 guys that haven't given a 3. I'm going to include Travis Kelce in that because I think he's played well. He didn't have a good game.
He had 2 massive drops.
I know. But he's had a good, he cares. Chris Jones was a beast in the second half. He did everything he could.
He was, yes.
And Patrick Mahomes. That's the core. And they're going to lose. I think this game tells me that Travis is probably going to retire. I thought he'd come back, but I just don't think that's going to happen. Patrick Mahomes and Chris Jones have massive contracts that have to be restructured. And I don't do that without control and have some say in what's going forward. But I think with the receivers, hey, listen, we overvalued them. Hollywood Brown's been inconsistent at best. Rashee Rice really has disappeared in clutch times in the last 2 to 3 games. Xavier Worthy is too hurt. Ankle, knee, shoulder. He can't play the grind that he did last year. And you're right. Nobody helped him. Brashard Smith, their fastest running back, still sits on the damn bench. They went out and got Dameon Pierce, who's got to be pissed because now he's not even going to get a chance to go to the playoffs, and that's why he came to Kansas City. And they didn't activate him yesterday. So I think Patrick Mahomes can only do so much, and we've discovered that since the Super Bowl loss to the Eagles. This has been a very predictable, very linear reality for Chiefs fans. Listen, I'm a 50-year guy. That's my gap between Super Bowls. Just had my 45th high school reunion over the weekend. So it's like,
hey!
I know, congrats, I made it. I get the angst by the fan base right now, and they should. The Chiefs got stale. They were fortunate that Patrick Mahomes was as brilliant as he was to win Super Bowl 57 and 58, along with 54. That's 3 Super Bowl wins. That's 2 more than the one I experienced when I was 10 years old. So I think everybody has to take a deep breath. Changes are afoot. They have to be. Because the biggest thing that no one's going to talk about today, the big elephant in the room, is this. The Chiefs are trying to get a new dumb stadium, either in Missouri or Kansas. Not making the playoffs doesn't help the cause. All the question marks that you have on this football team. Do they need to fire Andy Reid? There's going to be a lot of talk about that over the next couple of weeks. He's 67. He's going to be 68 next year. Is he going to change his stripes? Is Patrick Mahomes going to become Tom Brady and say, you owe me $45 million next year, or $71 million, or whatever it is, unless this, and this happens, like Tom Brady used to do with Bill Belichick and with whomever the GM was at the time? I'm not going to give you a team-friendly deal. The Chiefs are at a crossroads for that. So, new stadium, guys with big contracts, probably some retirement, some trades are going to happen. Coaching staff needs to be overhauled, completely overhauled from top to bottom. Most of them need to go. And I think that you're going to find, if Andy Reid can do another rebuild, if he's interested in doing another rebuild, but the power in all this is going to come to one person, that's Clark Hunt. What do I value my chances to get the dome stadium I want and to keep the momentum up versus staying loyal to a guy that I'm going to have to pay $20 million a year to through 2029? That's three more seasons. And I don't know if it's worth it. So this franchise is at a real crossroads for the first time. They've been fortunate and lucky because Mahomes has been special. He's carried this team, but you can't put that much pressure on Patrick Mahomes anymore. And that was evident last night. And nobody on that offense helped it, except for one guy, Asa Polle. I've been touting this guy since training camp. He's going to be your future left tackle or right tackle, depending on how Simmons comes back from injury. The tackle position is going to be great. The interior of the offensive line is going to be great. Patrick Mahomes will have a great season in 2026, but he better take control, and Clark Hunt better listen to his quarterback. Those two, not Andy Reid, not Brett Veach, have to decide the course going forward.
Nick, at this point, do you think the Chiefs have to just kind of let their young guys go, like the Brashard Smiths of the world, for this back half of the season?
Yeah, the last 4 games, you play all the kids. You play Jalen Royals, you see what he has. You put Xavier Worthy on the bench and just let him rest. There's no right reason to rush Trey Smith back. I don't think Trey Smith should play the rest of the year. He's got a back issue. He's got a knee issue. I would play but Jalen Royals. I mean, Noel played really great last night, replacing McDuffie. McDuffie's gone. So probably the last you're going to see him in a Chiefs uniform. He's going to be traded. But you got to play all the kids and see what you got. There's nothing to play for. A 19% chance, and there's not anybody who fears the Chiefs if they're the 7th seed to go in and upset the 2 seed. It's just not going to happen.
Nick Athen, our guest from Chiefs Blitz. Looking at the entire league, what is the storyline or maybe the team or teams that we are not talking enough about as we get closer and closer to the playoffs getting going?
I mean, I think in the AFC, the Broncos and the Patriots, I think that's going to be a really good AFC championship game if that's how it shakes out. Listen, the Broncos have a lot of flaws offensively. They have a Alex Smith at the quarterback position, which has proven can win in the postseason. But the Patriots, to me, are the biggest surprise. I thought Mike Vrabel would come in and change the culture. I didn't think he would dominate. They're beating bad teams and good teams in the same manner. They're a team to be reckoned with going forward, assuming, May continues the evolution of being, a consistent quarterback. The proof will be next year when they play a number 1 schedule. So I think that's been the biggest surprise. The Rams have been a surprise to me how dominant they have been offensively. They're completely back in every way. I think that's been the biggest surprise. And I think if you look at this season overall, and if you look at it objectively, it's not a bad thing that the bad teams are now good teams and the good teams are now bad teams. This is the ebb and flow. Again, I've been around a long time. I've seen everything you could possibly see in the NFL when it comes to teams and the ebb and flow of how the season goes and how the dynasties come and go. So I'm excited to see what the Patriots and the Broncos could do, because I think they're the two best teams in the AFC and the NFC. I don't know who's going to beat the Rams if they're playing like this.
What would be, before we let you go, what would be kind of one of the lower seeded teams that you think could really make a big time run and push their way past the favorites, like the Broncos, the Patriots, the Rams? It doesn't matter. What is a lower seeded team that you think has proven enough at this point in time that could really kind of storm and take it at the end?
All right, I'm going to show my sentimental side here. Okay. For the remainder of the year and into the postseason, I'm going to be rooting for the Buffalo Bills.
Wow.
And I'll tell you why. I've suffered as a member of the fan base. They've been to 4 Super Bowls. They lost them all miserably. This is not the best Buffalo Bills team, but Josh Allen is playing at a level that we only hoped that Patrick Mahomes would play in the second half of games. He even though they've been inconsistent, win here, lose there. I think the Bills are probably, because of Josh Allen just going nuclear, has the ability to torment any defense. Now, their defense sucks. Let's just be honest with it. They've got a lot of injuries. They should get those guys back. They're definitely going to make the playoffs. But I'm all in. I'm all in for the Buffalo Bills. For that fan base alone, for Bills Mafia, I would like to see them celebrate getting to a Super Bowl. And I think that would be fitting. That would be fitting for Josh Allen, because I think the Patriots are going to dominate that division going forward, and the Bills are going to be a perennial wild card team going forward.
Nick Athen, ChiefsBlitz.com. Nick, always appreciate it, my friend. Enjoy those winter meetings.
I'm going to enjoy those winter meetings. We'll be back next week, and we'll talk 2026 NFL draft.
Thanks, buddy. Have a good one. See ya.
All right, guys.
Great stuff there from Nick Athen, ChiefsBlitz.com. We'll take our final break, come back, and wrap the show with some leftovers next here on the Blitz.
When you need strength that lasts, count on Slosher Concrete. From driveways and sidewalks to farm, commercial, and highway projects, they're your local concrete pros serving Goodland, Burlington, and the tri-state area. Slosher Concrete, building the foundation of our communities.
Looking for your dream property? Hayden Outdoors Real Estate specializes in premium ranches, farms, and recreational land across the U.S., whether you're buying or selling. Their expert team is here to guide you every step of the way. Visit HaydenOutdoors.com today to explore their listings and find your perfect property.
Saturday night, June 27th, 2026. An incredible evening at the Colby Event Center. NWKS Radio presents Colin Ray in concert. Colin Ray's biggest country hits. Tickets available now at nwksradio.net. I was loved by nwksradio.net. Get them now. Colin Ray in concert. An evening with country music legend Colin Ray. Saturday night, June 27th, 2026 at the Colby Event Center. Presented by NWKS Radio.
To get Santa through the snow, it's an Otter angle dozer blade made and shipped all over the country from Otter Incorporated, Clayton, Kansas, where owners Frank and since it's his brother Greg say thank you. You have it made with an Otter blade. OtterDozer.com.
Want to be part of the Morning Blitz?
Sometime I'll give you a piece of my mind, like right now.
Send your thoughts to the F&B Bank text line at 785-899-2222.
Just a couple minutes left to go here on the program. Getting some leftovers taken care of here. Mentioned it a little bit in the show, but Broncos beat the Vegas Raiders 24-17. Bo Nix, 31 of 38, pretty good completion for 212. Not a lot of yards, no touchdowns, but no picks. He did have a rushing score, ran 3 times for 15 yards. R.J. Harvey also had a Broncos ran for 152 yards on 31 carries. I mean, that's a good performance there from Denver on the ground, even though there was no just ridiculous, performance individually, I want to say, on that part. I mean, even the fullback, Adam Prentice, had a long rumble for 18 yards in that game I saw. So I don't know. It was a great win for them. We pretty much touched, I think, on everything else. We didn't hit on Fort Hays Tech Northwest basketball. We talked about Colby Community College. Fort Hays Tech Northwest lost both their games Saturday in Seward. The men lost 72-61, women losing 69-43. And they are back in action tomorrow here at home in Goodland against Barton. Barton will be coming to town. Also want to give a quick shout out to a couple wrestling programs. 4 area girls teams placed inside the top 10 at the Christmas City Wrestling Classic Friday in Waukene. Colby was one of them. They finished in second place to the Lady Eagles. Oakley came in third. Oakley boys, by the way, placed fourth in that same classic on Saturday. And then Goodland boys, a second place finish at the Gable Jenkins Invitational in Saney. 60 points behind the champs from Burlington, Colorado. They rolled on Saturday at Burlington. Rawlins County came in fourth. St. Francis came in sixth. Some wrestling results there from this past weekend, but very busy weekend. What else we got on the dock? What else on your mind as we wrap up the show?
I guess we didn't talk about KU basketball too much, but we did hit on that a little bit. I mean, 20-point win over Mizzou. You like that? Darren Peterson's back. They're good.
I mean, Darren Peterson is back first and foremost, and I don't think Mizzou is the same team. They're definitely not the same team they were a year ago when Missouri beat them. So Kansas has got, I think, probably a tougher game coming up next. I think they have NC State, I think, is next. I would say that's a tougher game than Missouri.
Absolutely.
As we sit here right now. And like we've said before, and I know we'll continue to say this stuff, we'll continue to harp on this, but when Darren Peterson is in the lineup, as Nick said, that's a team that can beat probably anybody in the country, possibly, because I think he is the best player in the country. He's really, really good. And so if he's out there and he's healthy and he can perform to the level that he is capable of performing to, Kansas has the pieces around it. That is how that team is built. They are built to have Darren Peterson be the star and everyone else play a role around him. And when the star's not there and role players need to become star players, that's when Kansas has issues. And so that's why I think that's obviously why you see Bill Self treating Darren Peterson like kid gloves, because he knows if Darren Peterson goes out for a significant amount of time or misses the rest of the season in some sort of capacity, it's over.
They're in trouble.
He knows that they're in trouble. Simple as that. And don't forget, of course, K-State basketball on the docket tonight. Once again, 100.3 right. You can listen to K-State basketball against Mississippi Valley State, 7:00 Central Time. We'll see if they can get it done against the Delta Devils. Delta Devils. Love great nicknames. All right, let's get out of here with the walk-off.
And back lifts his ball high and deep to right. How about a walk-off three? Thomas to the 10. Diggers going on to New England. They win it on the first play of overtime. Mahomes swings it. It's there. Hardman. Jackpot. Kansas City.
Really, you could look at Kansas City Chiefs' season ending on a fourth down from their own 30. I think that's what it was.
Yeah.
That's pretty much where the season ended. You can almost guarantee that with the Kansas City Chiefs. When I look back at it, and Andy Reid owns the fourth down flop, as he called it. But yeah, that was where the season was.
Did you watch that live? Because I saw that. I could not believe that Kelsey did
tie ball game, and yeah, I mean, it was amazing how many drops were happening by guys. It was nuts.
Yeah,
it's I sat there, I was watching, I was like, this is the end. Yeah. I was just like, this is the end.
That was the game
run, right there. But yeah, I don't know. I'm still floored the fact that Notre Dame did not make it into the college football playoff. You lose to two of those playoff teams that are in by a combined 4 points, and you didn't make it in there. I'm just absolutely floored. How much do you think the Notre Dame not being in a conference hurt them?
It definitely does, because then you look at look at the teams they beat. I mean, I'm going to look again real quick, but I don't think they really beat anybody better than like Pitt. So I think they beat USC and Pitt. Those were their 2 ranked wins. So I think Notre Dame, argument for being in over Bama. I don't think Bama should have been in, but Notre Dame didn't really beat anybody. So
bring back the computers. Everyone was like, oh, we get rid of the BCS because it's computers, and the humans are going to make better decisions than the computers can.
Well, it's all like
the computers.
It's all like SEC ADs that get to make the decisions. That's the thing. That's the problem.
So one guy calls the SEC a Ponzi scheme, and I can totally see how that is true. And I could go on a rant. Maybe I will. Maybe we will tomorrow on a Tuesday on how you can prevent this Ponzi scheme from happening.
We could go for like 2 hours about that.
Certainly could. But we have to get out of here. Our show is over. We're back again tomorrow on a Tuesday. Hope you join us then. It's been the Blitz. Have a good one.
Classic rock plays here.